Welcome. Please be seated. As the Dean of the Clinton School of Public Service, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the graduation of the class of 2023. All right. It's Saturday morning, I get it. I want to thank you all for being here because the graduate school journey is one that takes a village. Our graduates seated over here would not be here if it weren't for you, if it weren't for the friends and the family, the faculty, the colleagues, the support system. And I want to give a very special note of thanks to Chairman Morrill Harriman from the University of Arkansas Board of Trustees and to Secretary Rodney Slater for being with us here today, for your public service and for your support and belief in the Clinton School of Public Service. I was speaking to some of the graduates before coming in, and I was telling them that I just flat out love graduations. It never gets old. I've been doing this for a while. And every single graduation, I start to get that flutter of excitement, this mix of emotions, of joy, a little bit of sadness, but it's this wonderful feeling that I hold on to every year. And why? I'll admit that I am one for pomp and circumstance, so there is something to that. But really, graduation is a moment where we get to celebrate. It's a moment where we get to reflect, and it's a moment when we get to be in community. And in our day-to-day lives, we're running around, we have jobs, we have families, we're in organizations. We don't have the time or the mindset, right? We're always on our phones, we're always running, to pause, to hit that pause button, and to celebrate, to reflect, and to be together, and thank God that now we can be together in person. And the lead up to this moment was not easy. The Masters of Public Service demands of you mastery, not just in the classroom, but in the field. The Clinton School of Public Service marries rich theoretical knowledge with on-the-ground training. As a program that prepares you across disciplines, across sectors, for you to be ready on day one to work in the private sector, in the public sector, in the international sector. There's a lot put on you, and we demand a lot of you. But in addition to all of this, and the normal blood, sweat, and tears that comes with any graduate education, you started in the middle of a pandemic. I was thinking back to the summer of 2021, and I remembered the fear that I felt and that we felt as a nation, as a world, as a community, the uncertainty, the anxiety, and the divisiveness that we were living through in the summer of 2021. So it would have been perfectly reasonable for you to say, I'm just gonna kind of wait it out. I'm gonna see how things settle before I make a move, before I make a decision of what I'm gonna do. But you, class of 2023, did exactly the opposite. You said, count me in. At the height of that pandemic, you stood up. And I thank God that you did. Because it is in those moments of uncertainty that we need leaders with the knowledge of how to rigorously design, plan, execute, and evaluate solutions. Goodwill can only get you so far. It is in moments of intense divisiveness that we need leaders who can expertly bridge and communicate with diverse communities of different racial, ethnic, religious, ideological, regional spheres. When there is retreat into our personal bubbles, into our tribes, we need leaders who will engage communities locally and globally. Here in Arkansas, a state that was one of the most ravaged by COVID-19, you rolled up your sleeves and went to work with the communities and organizations that needed you most. And you did the same all over the world, from Cambodia to Germany, from the Dominican Republic to all places in between. A hallmark of our programs, of the Masters of Public Service at the Clinton School, both our in-person and our online programs, is that we throw you into the deep end of the pool. And we're very proud of that. And I know that you resent us for that first year. I get it, I know. But bear with me. I've been at a number of other programs, and most other programs progressively ramp up. Again, we do not do that. For our in-person program from day one, you're working with a client, a team of strangers, all while learning the skills that you need to make good on your partner project. So you are building the plane while you're flying it. For our CSO students, for a continuous 2 years while you are working full-time, you are engaged in a demanding curriculum with literally no break. You are consuming and digesting material nonstop to then turn around and do the same for your capstone partner projects. And we know, trust me, we know there are a lot of growing pains and challenges that come with that breakneck speed. But there is a method to our madness. By putting you on the front lines, by having you develop a master plan for Habitat for Humanity of Central Arkansas, inform a strategic overhaul of the Center for Arkansas Legal Services, or assessing and counseling strategic policy development for the city of Little Rock, we are equipping you with the hard and the soft skills that you will carry with you across your professional careers, across sectors, across positions. And as all of you emerge from your first year, you take these tools developed, and now you use them to build your own unique capstone. Through your capstones, you go from apprentices to literally masters. The breadth and diversity of public service capstones is incredible. Your work just this year spans the arts, education, health, international peace processes, and again, everything in between. Take Betsy Bailey's capstone. Betsy's project planned a pre-K program for the Searcy School District that will be implemented this coming academic school year. This is a program consisting of 5 pre-K classes that are going to serve 95 students whom reside in low-income households, minority students, or are identified as at risk. Then we see Kate Deegan's project that takes place halfway around the world in Cambodia. Kate, in working with Winrock International, completed a rapid gender equity and social inclusion analysis for USAID. Searcy, Arkansas, Phnom Penh, Cambodia. These are 2 very different places, 2 very different projects, but there is a common grounding to Betsy and Kate's projects. They are built through a rigorous theoretical and methodological training that brings about transformative and sustainable change. President Clinton, and I know our students, you've probably heard him say this, he has a very simple litmus test for success. Are people better off when you leave them than when you arrived? I have no doubt whatsoever that your preparation here at the Clinton School as thinkers, as doers, will ensure that your public service leadership will bring about positive and enduring impact wherever you go. And on a personal note, I want to say to you, class of 2023, what a joy it has been for me to follow you and be with you on this journey. I was a newbie myself. In 2021, December of 2021, is when I first came to the Clinton School in my official capacity as dean. I was introduced to the student community through you. And I do want to give a very special shout out to Hannah, Javier, and Wendy. Thank you for your work and your dedication to the Clinton School through your student government leadership. To the class of 2023, it has been my honor to be your dean, and I cannot wait to see what impact you continue to have. And now it is my pleasure to introduce you to our student speakers for today, Wendy Cook and Chase Ankelade, who were selected by their peers to speak on behalf of their classes. Congratulations. Felicidades.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. First, I'd like to say that I am honored to have been chosen by my fellow classmates to greet you all today. I speak for each of us when I say the love and support of our family, friends, and all of you here today have helped us to arrive at this joyous moment. I don't have much time, so I'll get right to it. There are many different things that bring a student to the Clinton School of Public Service. However, a common thread runs through them all: an acknowledgement of the fact that our world is suffering in more ways than one, but also an acknowledgement of the fact that with the right tools and skills, together we can create genuine and sustainable change. The Clinton School of Public Service is one of the few places where I found myself surrounded by people with a greater mission than themselves, one not focused on their own power and prestige, but focused on improving the lives and conditions of those the world so often forgets. A few weeks ago, I had the pleasure of listening to Dr. Hemphill as he addressed students from across the state at the Collegiate Student Leader Summit on Civic Engagement. And he said something that struck a chord within me. To paraphrase, he said that it's so easy to fall into a trap of, it is what it is. So many of us, myself included, give away all of our power when we utter these 5 words. I'm here to remind all of you today that it is not what it is. We are blessed with the ability to refuse to take things as they are. We are not at the mercy of our circumstances, blowing back and forth in the wind as politicians, corporations, and the wealthy mold our world into a place we don't recognize. We can fight back. And although our time here at the Clinton School has come to an end, we are leaving with the skills to not only join the fight, but to lead it if we so choose. To the faculty and staff, a million thank yous would not be enough. We love and appreciate each of you for how well you've taught us, for being tough on us when needed, but also being a listening ear when necessary. And to my classmates, I count myself incredibly fortunate to have been in your presence these past 2 years. We've cried together, laughed together, grown together, learned together, and accomplished much together. May we, Class 17, continue to build bridges over walls, forge bonds over division, and may we never accept the world for what it is, but continue to not only dream of what it could one day be, but to take the necessary steps to forge that dream into reality. Thank you. I'd now like to introduce Wendy Cook.
I'm going to start with my thank yous to Dean Soto on this side, and Dean Hoffbauer on this side, and the faculty for providing us with an academic of true excellence. I'd like to welcome Secretary Slater, and say thank you to all of our guests for being here with us tonight. 10 years ago, I stood on an airplane bathroom. I looked at myself in the mirror, and I said out loud, "Show me what you want me to see." It was a brave prayer. I didn't demand specific results. I didn't bargain. I surrendered to the outcome. And since that time, I've been guided to see what I was blind to up to that point in my life, which was our world's wicked problems. The problems that need to be solved, but often do not have enough civil society's resources to be solved. My open-ended prayer eventually resulted in my partnering with health facilities and nonprofits that do the hard work of healing the impacts of trauma. When I applied to the Clinton School, I was working one-on-one with adolescent sex trafficking victims to develop a mindfulness-based yoga program for a nonprofit located here in Little Rock. I applied because I knew that I wanted to learn how to make a systematic difference that would increase mental health equity. And while my story is my unique story, each of my cohorts has a personal story that led them here today, a personal story that motivated them to want to work as a public servant to solve one of our world's wicked problems. As advocates, today's graduates work on animal rights, health equity, solutions for the homeless epidemic, education equity, environmental conservation, urban development, democracy, and many other causes of great value. To my cohorts, I'm standing here today because of you, and I'm honored to be giving our commencement speech. 2 years ago, we each committed to earn a master's of public service during the middle of a global pandemic, as was mentioned. I'm not sure what it says about us, strength or maybe a little masochistic. Over the course of the last 2 years, we've taken 12 8-week courses with a 1-week break in August and 3-week break over the holidays while we worked full-time jobs, had family responsibilities, and volunteered in our communities. Over the course of the last 2 years, we've witnessed each other's dedication to the education process and the sacrifices necessary to be here today. We were dedicated to attending weekly online classes, often with Jenna's children attending with us, late night, early morning reading, all weekend writing, Wednesday discussion posts, and as Nicolette would say, the love letter responses to those discussion posts, and being a support system for each other via WhatsApp and class chats. I can't express the bond that we made from across states. We are all actually from the United States, but it is amazing what we've been able to create. Over the course of the last 2 years, we've made many personal sacrifices to create the time necessary to study and write, and write, and write. Wednesdays and Sundays at 11:59 p.m. will never be the same for me. We did it. We are here. I congratulate you all for your commitment, your dedication, and your sacrifices to learn how to better serve our world and solve our wicked problems. In closing, I'd like to remind you that wicked problems have existed for centuries, if not since the beginning of time. Working towards solutions can often be exhausting. And it is my hope and my prayer that you keep inspiring people close to you, be patient, and be steadfast as you work for a more just and equitable world. On a personal note, I'd like to say that if anybody in the audience themselves or a family member has a neurodivergent or a mental health diagnosis, that you set your goals high. Know that the rest of the world may not understand your learning methods and how you work, but you owe the world to bring your brilliance and your empathy so that we can make the world a better place to be. If I can stop crying. All right. Now it is my honor to introduce to you our keynote speaker for today's ceremony. Secretary Rodney Slater exemplifies what it means to be a career public servant. He is a native Arkansan from the city of Marianna, a graduate from Eastern Michigan University, and a graduate of the University of Arkansas School of Law. He has served in government, nonprofit, and private organizations. As the U.S. Secretary of Transportation under President Clinton, he passed several historic legislative initiatives over his tenure with strong bipartisan support. He is currently a partner with Squire Patton Boggs, where he helps state and local government clients address the vexing challenge of closing the gap between transportation demand and capacity by employing public-private strategies and innovative financing solutions. He is also a current member of the Clinton School of Public Service Dean's Advisory Board.
Thank you. 2023 graduates of the University of Arkansas Clinton School of Public Service, congratulations. To Chase and to Wendy, what beautiful and touching and powerful remarks. Chairman Harriman, Dean Soto, the dedicated and devoted faculty and staff of the Clinton School, beloved family and friends of the graduates, ladies and gentlemen, please know that I am humbled and honored to be invited to participate in this special ceremony. As you begin the next chapter in your life's journey, the pathway before you is spotted with untold opportunities, daunting challenges, and great uncertainty. But a pathway it is. And fate, faith, and fortune beckon. As it relates to fate, do we as mere humans possess the wherewithal to bend it, to shape it? Or is it just what it is, as Chase noted? As it relates to faith, can we, in the face of fate, uncertainty, opposition, and personal disappointment, long endure? And as it relates to fortune, Is it true that faith, family, and friends represent the true fortune of life? And if so, how has your time here at the Clinton School of Public Service helped you along the way? How has it prepared you for whatever lies ahead? Now, from Dean Soto, we know that they've thrown you into the deep end of the pool. We know that. And because you are here, we know that you have survived. It's almost as Wendy noted, just show me what you want me to see. Thoreau once said that it matters not so much what you look at, but what you see. So, fate, faith, and fortune. Ah, yes, critical along this pathway of life. Now, allowing for pure luck, or blessings as some might say, life's vicissitudes and uncertainties and human frailty, including our own, in spite of these things, I believe that we as humans can bend fate. I believe that our unflinching faith can sustain us in difficult times, much like these. And I believe that faith, family, and friends are the true fortune of life, as evidenced by your celebrated achievement today as newly minted and faithful graduates of the Clinton School of Public Service, in the midst of the unabashed support, well wishes, and love of family and friends. My beliefs are sure and secure in the now more than 40 years of knowing and working with the person after whom this school, this fine school, is named, William Jefferson Clinton. I first met him in the summer of 1979 when he was the youngest governor in Arkansas and American history. And I started to really get to know him in the spring of 1982 when he was the youngest ex-governor in Arkansas and American history, having lost his reelection bid. At the time, he had won 2 races, and he had lost 2. Fate had not been abundantly kind. At least in his political pursuits. To contend with and to bend fate, I saw him reply, and I saw him rely on the faith that he possessed, as evidenced in the words of Galatians, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart." He did not lose heart, and he did win his rematch in November of 1982. But he did have to apologize. He had to apologize to Arkansans for being a bit too far ahead of them on some issues, and more concerned about his own interests and wishes than theirs on other matters. Listening, humility, and empathy became watchwords as he re-engaged his constituents and supporters and sought to better serve them. He often noted that everybody has a story, and I want to hear it. He never lost again, putting people first, opportunity for all, responsibility from all, community among all, and as has been noted, leaving those whom he had the privilege to serve better off than when he began. These have remained hallmarks, not only of his elective offices and the years that he served us in the public sector, but they represent hallmarks even in his post-presidency and his work through the Clinton Foundation. Now, your matriculation at the Clinton School of Public Service has given you an opportunity to explore your own aptitude for service, your own aspirations for leadership, your own altruistic spirit. Public service, as compared to public affairs or public policy, is not purely an academic pursuit, nor a sacrosanct endeavor. Public service evidences a bias for action, not just pontification, persuasion, not just craftsmanship, learning for doing better rather than learning for learning's sake. A noted presidential historian, Arthur Schlesinger, spoke eloquently about this issue when he argued that the philosopher and the political official, the public servant, that they were two different professions. The philosopher's aim is merely to enlighten, but the public policy and the public service professional, the politician, the public servant, has to enlist, has to electrify, has to enliven, has to serve and to elevate to ever higher heights, to build from strength to strength. Even the power dynamic is affected. For it's not so much power over, but power enjoyed for and among and with others. And leadership defined differently as well, not so much by the number of people who serve you, but the number of people you serve. A new world of opportunities await you and your generation, 2023 graduates. The survival of our home that we call Earth hangs in the balance. The survival of our democracy as we know it hangs in the balance. The belief heretofore that tomorrow can be better than today hangs in the balance. A fractious political divide makes bipartisanship seems nearly impossible. Bipartisanship hangs in the balance. Can we as human yet bend, shape, fate? Is it still true that faith, family, and friends represent the true fortune of life? The loss of confidence in our political leaders, our business and religious leaders, well, this makes your leadership all the more important, all the more critical, all the more necessary. What of these times? What of these daunting challenges and untold opportunities? On this special occasion in these heady times, a few other words from the namesake of the the Clinton School. Quote, "There is nothing wrong with America that can't be cured by what is right with America." And, quote, "We all do better when we work together. Our differences, well, they do matter, but our common humanity matters more." Congratulations as you begin this next chapter of your journey. And know that fate, faith, and fortune beckon.
Chair Harriman, on behalf of the faculty, it is my honor to certify the candidates for the Master of Public Service. Will the candidates who are to receive the Master of Public Service degree please rise and remain standing? Chair Harriman, I certify to you that those candidates who have completed all of their academic requirements are entitled to receive their degrees.
Now comes probably the most and sometimes more than few really enjoyments of being a trustee. And that's conferring of degrees. So now, by the authority vested in me by law as chairman of the Board of Trustees of the University of Arkansas System, I do hereby confer upon each of you the respective academic degrees which you have been recommended, as well as all obligations, responsibilities, privileges, and obligations appertaining thereto. I also confer upon you the entire best wishes from the Board of Trustees. Congratulations.
You can now take your tassel from the right side of your hood to the left. It is now time for the graduates to take the stage for presentation of their master hoods.
Kwame Abdul Bey. Lydia Adusi. Betsy Bailey. Tamara Bates. In absentia, Micah Beck. Hawa Bello Barkery. Derek Bixler. In absentia, Elizabeth Bloom. Becca Bona. Lucia Burgess. In absentia, Brooke Caraway. Malikit Shuti. Brittany Chu. Savannah Combs. Wendy Cook. Haley Cormicken. Kate Deegan. Chase Oncalade.